How's it going, everyone? It's your boy, Tactical Rip Rhymes. So today, I'm doing a little bit something else. We are gonna be ranking Genshin characters by how much of a certain stereotype of wife and or husband they would be. Now, I did make this list. Uh, I'd probably say very inclined. The yes husband slash wife. Uh, uh, excuse me, fuck. The yes husband, fuck. The yes wife slash husband is the stereotype where they will basically do everything you say. No limits whatsoever. You tell them what to do and they do it no matter what. Submissive with the limits basically means that they are submissive to who the man of the house is, or the woman of the house, depending, and they do have limits, meaning that they will do certain things for you, but not all things. 50-50 means that they are right in between, meaning that they are just the kind of husband or wife that would be very akin to do everything as long as it's with you. Dominant with limits basically means that they have the pants between you and the significant other, uh, but they won't basically boss you around basically every fucking day. And then there's the yes wife slash husband, where it's basically like they tell you what to do, you have no choice, da da this, da da that. So it's like, meh, you know? Matter of fact, I am going to create. Hold on, I'm going to create a world below this. Why did. Oh, it does that all the time. I don't know why it does that. I'm just going to name this Alloy. So that way I don't have to deal with it. Because I do not have her on my Genshin account. I don't. I don't have her on my account. So I can't really say too much about her. But, anyways, I do have this here to make sure. Excuse me. I have all of the ages here to make sure that these characters are of age. That's why it says too young slash childlike, like it says right here. Barbara, 16 to 17. Where is she? Right here. So, too young. So, I can't put her on the list. And since she's already here, I might as well keep her here. But, first and foremost, oh boy. The leader of the Fatui Harbingers himself. This is a tough one. Because I don't know much about the Harbingers except for Tartaglia, Capitano, and Arlecchino. A little bit about the Torre, but the rest I know nothing about. I don't know who he is. I don't know who these two are, and I barely know anything about her. Oh, and I almost forgot about Senora as well. When it comes to Piero, I think his name is. I'll have to fact check it whenever I edit this, but Piero, I would probably say he's the type of man who's very commanding, but won't tell you everything to do. So I'd probably say dominant with limits on his case. The only reason why I say that is because of the fact that he looks intimidating, but I would probably guess that he's very subtle with how he talks. He's very, what is it? He's very, very sociable, but because he's a harbinger, people tend to steer clear of him. Now, Capitano, he's the type of man that goes 50-50, 100%. Like, a lot of people ship him with Mavuika, wherever she is, and these sorts of things make it to where that it's like, he believes in an equal household. And because of it, this makes him to where that he is very loving, very kind due to his soldier-like nature, but it also makes things very weird because of the fact that he's basically hundreds of years old, due to the Conrian curse, and his face is probably disfigured and shit. So he keeps the mask on, obviously for drip reasons, because the motherfucker drippy as hell. God damn. But that's beside the point. I would think that Capitano is 50-50 due to the fact that because people ship him and Vuika, like, they would obviously be a very formidable husband-wife duo, so I would definitely say he's a 50-50 kind of guy. Now, the Torre, this motherfucker will make you obey him. It's not the facts that, oh, he's not like the personality. No, he does experiments on your ass and makes you obey this, and makes you obey him. Like, he's that kind of guy. All the experiments he's done, all the potions and poisons he's put into the world through his experiments, no doubt in my mind, this motherfucker will be the yes husband category. I forget her name, but hold on. Third of the Harbinger. Whoop. Third of the Harbingers. Colombiana. Okay, so I do not know her age. Excuse me. Excuse me. About Damselette. I don't know. Like, young woman is what it says a lot. Damsel, maiden, soubrette. Like, a lot of them say young lady, so I'd probably say she's around, like, between 20 and 30, give or take. Due to the Conrian curse, she's probably a lot older. But I would probably say she's dominant with the limits, due to the fact that she is a Fatui Harbinger, and she's the third of the Fatui Harbingers, making her the strongest woman. It's either she's the strongest woman of the Harbingers, or she has the most influence. Because a lot of people always construed the fact that, oh, the Tory's number 2 because he's strong as fuck. No, he just has a lot of influence. Due to the fact that he has, like, a bunch of charisma, and he has a snake-like tongue. So it makes it to where that, yes, the Tory is the second of the Harbingers. It makes sense for him. But with Damsel, or Damselette, like, a lot of the characters say, like, Tartaglia and Wanderer say that she's scary as fuck, and Arlecchino kind of respects her power, at least from what I know. But because of this, it makes it to where that I see her as dominant with limits. Like, she'll make you know that she wears the pants in the house, but she also won't tell you what to do every fucking day. So it's not one of those kind of women. Now, Arlecchino is the complete opposite. She is the yes wife. Not like the yes wife, but like yes wife. Yeah, like she will step on you, literally, and make you do shit that you're not inclined of doing. It's like, you either do as I say or I'm beating your ass. It's like, yes wife. Like, she scares me, but in a good way. Like, she scares me, but in a good way. And it just makes me laugh because it's like, damn. Now, this fucking elf-looking motherfucker right here, I don't know. I think he's the 7th or the 5th of the Harbingers. 5th of the Harbingers. Pulcinella, the rooster. Is it because of his long-ass nose? He's the mayor of Snezhnaya. What? That is insane. Well, what the fuck? Why'd it go all the way back up? So, character story 5. The rooster holds little love for me, and the feeling is mutual. He's an acceptable mayor, I suppose. Perhaps even an exceptional one. He has an uncanny ability to make great gains at a small price, which has earned him substantial acclaim throughout his political circles. However small the price may be, if it continues at the expense of my organization, sooner or later... Damn, that's crazy. So... That's basically kind of crazy. So it sounds like Puncinella, or the Rooster, as they call him, is someone of great influence due to the fact that he's the mayor of Snezhnaya. I didn't think these cities had mayors, because more than likely the Tsaritsa is the Archon. That's what a lot of people suspect. So it's like, what do I do here? And being that Wanderer, wherever he is, where's that scrawny ass motherfucker? There's Hat Guy. Like, he's used to be the sixth of the Harbingers. But I'll get to him in a second. The Rooster, based off the facts that he is very influential, and he has ways of making people do what he wants, I would probably say he's a yes husband. Like, he's not a yes husband, no, but he's like a yes husband, meaning that he tells you what to do, and you do it, and it's mostly because of the facts that people are scared of him because of how high in power he is. That's probably why I would list him as the yes husband. Seventh of the Harbingers. Whoops. Alright, let's see here. Sandron. Marionette. Let's see here. Oh, she's literally... Oh, what? Damn! I'm surprised we haven't, like, ran into her yet.
I have little interest in her. She's extremely passionate about her research and does not appear in public often. In fact, many of our officers have yet to see her at all. Compared to, let's say, someone who would go so far as to create segments of themselves to better wander across the land, I suppose you could say she is at the other end of the extreme.
Ooh, so she's the type of woman that would make... what is it? Fucking... That would just make people into their puppets. So by proxy, she becomes yes. She becomes the yes wife. That's just by proxy. That's not like, oh, because of how she is. No, that's just by proxy because of what Arlecchino said about her. That honestly scares me because I would probably think that she has the ability to turn people into puppets that obey her no matter what. And that kind of scares me. Because making it to where that you're just an ever-obeying puppet is fucking scary. Now, Senora, if we're talking about before her fiance was killed in combat, I would definitely say submissive with limits. But because of the fact that he died in combat, she's dominant with licks. And I'm taking current Senora into account. I'm not talking about, like, before Senora. No, I'm talking about current day Senora before she was offed by Raiden I. Or Raiden Shogun, actually. I would definitely say dominant with... Actually, no, I'll put her as a yes wife because of the fact that she's, like, very booming with her voice. She's not, like, deep, but she lets you know, like, hey, you better listen to me, motherfucker, or else I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, she's that type of woman. Now, if she was dominant with the limits, yes, I would definitely be with her. But where I have her, she's like number 10. So it makes it to where that she's not high on my list, but she's not low either. She's just top 10, barely in top 10. I do not know who this guy is. Ninth of the Harbingers. Ninth of the Fatui Harbingers. Wouldn't that make Tartaglia the 10th of the Harbingers? Or is he still the 11th of the Harbingers at this point? Because Scaramouche is no longer... Where is he? Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is Hat Guy? There he is. Every single time I say Hat Guy, he just shows up. Fuck you. You're basically Zhao at this point. What? Either way, like, I'm guessing because there's no 6th of the Harbingers now, that means Mademoiselle, or, like, her... She's now the 6th of the Harbingers. She would have been the 7th, but now he's upgraded to the 8th, making Tartaglia the 9th. Or is there still just 11 Harbingers, while Signora is dead? And we don't know who the new sixth of the Harbingers is because Scaramouche is no longer a Fatui Harbinger. He's now known as Wanderer, and he's respected by a lot of people, so it's like, what do we do with that? But that's a completely different take. Patalone. I wonder what his gimmick is, huh? Regrader. Alright. He also handles Shesnaya's economic policies. He apparently was born into poverty and has never received a vision. Okay, so he has a high economic status, but he's still, like, the ninth of the Harbingers. But this doesn't really give me anything on him. This is from IGN. Alright, so let's go here. It still says ninth of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. So who's the sixth? We all know that Senora is the eighth. But who's the sixth? Is it still Scaramouche or is it someone else? He makes his first appearance during Tevat Chapter's interlude teaser, A Winter's Night Lazo, alongside his fellow ones. Okay. There you are.
I won't deny that he is a capable and imaginative individual, but he lacks clarity. He can formulate grand plans and manipulate the economy with ease, yet at the same time, he allows his actions to be governed by the vengeance and hatred locked in the depths of his heart. Rational people often believe themselves capable of controlling their emotions, but I believe that confidence is their greatest weakness.
Dear God, her voice actress needs to get a de-esser. God damn. Like, she really, like, a lot of the voice actors need a de-esser whenever they use their mics. They need a fucking de-esser, especially Arlecchino, because those S's are like very like a goddamn snake, and I guess that's like part of her character, but she's not a snake. You know, she's not snake-like, so it wouldn't make any sense. But she still needs a de-esser because those S's are like very sharp, and it's like, god damn. But with the way she says it, I would probably say he's submissive with limits. Because of the fact that he still has a government and he follows the rules to a T, I would probably say that he's submissive with limits just based off of what Arlecchino says. Now, Tartaglia would definitely be a 50-50 kind of guy. He's a cool dude. He's very down to earth. I like him a lot because of the fact that I can actually chill with the guy. And it makes sense because of the fact that, yeah, he's the 11th of the Harbingers. He's considered the weakest by his influence, but he's a very powerful individual due to the fact that Skirk is his sensei. So it makes it to where that no matter what, he is going to get stronger. So it makes things very lighthearted for him. But I would still see him as a 50-50 due to the fact that he has a love for family, and also due to the fact that he wants to do things with his family. So I would say that he's 50-50 alongside Capitano. Now, Aether and Lumine, this is a very mixed bag between the two, mostly due to the fact that we're the ones controlling them. So I honestly have no clue but to put their Abyss side into account. And we barely see anything from the Abyss side. And due to the fact that it's very, like, 50-50 on their personality, depending on who you choose at the start of the game, I would have to put both Aether and Lumine as a whole at 50-50. And I'm putting Lumine next to Tartaglia due to the fact that a lot of people ship these two. I do not see it, personally. I'm just doing it for the other fans that ship them. Personally, I don't see how the princess of the Fatui is in love with the 11th of the Harbingers. I personally don't see it. Like, says Tartaglia talk about her a lot? Like, what's going on there? Either way, I would still see them both as 50-50 due to the fact that they're very kind, they're very loving, very caring, and due to the fact that they get along with so many of the other playable characters here, I could see them being a 50-50 kind of husband or wife. Whoops! Now, up next is Jean. She is obviously old enough, right? Like, she is, like, 100% old enough. There's no way she's not. Where is Jean, 21 to 26. So, yeah, She is 100% old enough to be a wife. So it makes sense for her. We'll get to Lisa afterwards. Yeah, I know Lisa's old enough, so I don't really need to check. With Jean, though, I don't think she would be the type of woman to dominate the relationship, but I wouldn't think she would be submissive either. I also think that Jean is, like a very 50-50 kind of woman because of the fact she's respected by the people of Mondstadt, but she also controls the army as the acting general of Mondstadt. So it makes things very complicated for her. Needed a stretch. Either way, I would think she's a 50-50 sort of wife. Due to the fact that she doesn't take orders, but she also gives orders. So she would want to be like a 50-50 kind of wife. Now, Lisa, 100% dominant with limits. People do not know, mainly due for her kit. She is a very strong individual. She's like one of the top, like she's one of the upper echelons in lore. She is a very strong woman. I would say dominant with limits. Like, she's not the type to, like, boss you around all the fucking time. But she is the type to make it to where they're like, you are going to know I'm wearing the pants, but I'm not going to boss you around like most wives do. In fact, I'm just going to let you know, hey, don't piss me off or else I'm going to beat your ass. That's Lisa. And that's kind of scary, but I also love it at the same time. Her and Arlecchino are two of my favorite characters. They're tied for first place. We'll get to the other two that are tied for first place alongside these two in a little bit. Amber. Let's go up to her. Amber is 18 to 20. Okay, so she is old enough to be a wife. Amber, as much or as little as I know this woman, I'd probably say she's submissive with the limits. Don't get me wrong, she's an outrider and she knows how to handle herself in a fight. But when it comes to having a family life, that is a completely different issue. Becoming a wife or a husband in Kaya's case, it makes things very complicated due to the fact that she has to carry a baby in her for 9 months, pop it out of her for however long it takes to actually get it out of her womb. So she has to mature a lot. She's still a little bit immature, but I would still see her as a somewhat submissive wife. Now, Noelle, let's see how old you are. Noelle, you are 15 to 17, so you are not old enough. Sorry to say. If she was old enough, I would 100% say she is a yes wife, but because she is 15 to 17, I'm putting her in the too young category. Now there is Sucros. She is 18. There is what the fuck? It's 18. There's like, oh. So she's basically like, oh, yes. She's 18, no doubt. So, okay. She is like Noelle, she is 100% a yes wife. She's way too submissive. But I would also not make it to where that she's like that she's being ordered every single day. You know, it's not that kind. Like, she's just too sweet and kind to be doing that sort of shit. So I wouldn't like be bossing her around all the fucking time. But Sucrose is definitely a yes wife. Now there is Official. Let's see how old she is. She is 16. So you are too young. Same thing with Fremine. Fremine is also too young. I just saw that he's also 16. Mona is up next. Let's see, how old are you? 18 to 20. Okay, so Mona is a very outspoken woman. She talks a lot about herself, but she's also very humble at the same time. It just depends on how you catch her. Thing is, though, I see her personally as a 50-50 wife. Now, a lot of you would be saying, oh, she's like dominant with limits or submissive with limits. That's just fanfic bullshit. No. I'm going to base it off of her lore and her personality. She's 100% 50-50. She boasts a lot about herself, but she's also humble in some aspects. She only boasts when she needs to. You know her power, but at the same time, she is very submissive about how she acts. She is very humble. She knows her strength, she knows how to use it, and just like Lisa, she's also one of the upper echelons when it comes to tiering the scale of their power based off of the lore they have within the Genshin universe. So she would 100% be a 50-50 wife because of the fact that she can back up what she's saying, but she'll also make sure that, hey, I'm going to have my man do this because I know I can't beat your ass. She's that kind of wife. Kaya, I do not know, but I want to assume he's of age. Kaya is 25-27, or 25-27. I would definitely say he is also a 50-50 husband, much like Mona is. But unlike Mona, Kaya will try to take the situation by the reins, just so that way he can protect his wife, or his husband if he's bisexual. But he will try to take the situation in hand and make it to where that he's now in control, and he tells the wife to get out of here along with the kids, so that way he can deal with the threat. He's very 50-50. Like, he's a handsome guy, and a lot of women fawn over him. Like, I'm bisexual, and I still call him handsome as more of a respectable thing. Kaya, I see him as a 50-50 husband. Now, his brother Diluc is dominant with limits. He's not like the yes husband. No, he's not that kind of guy. He's humble. He's mature. I say he's dominant with limits. He's not like the yes husband category, like the Torre and Mayor over here. No, he's dominant with limits. You know he's the man of the house, and he makes sure you know your role in the house. Like, he is gonna help with cleaning and shit, helping with the kids, but he's still dominant with limits. He's not gonna bark orders at you all the time. Razor, I think he's too young personally. Where's Razor? Razor, 16-17. So you are too young, my friend. Bennett, I think he's underage as well. Bennett, 16-17. Just like Barbara. Who's next? Ningguang. I think she is actually of age. I want to say she's like mid-20s, early 30s. I think Ningguang. Yeah, 25-28. So she is definitely of age. Ningguang, I would probably say, just like Diluc. Well, actually, yeah, now that I think about it, like, I had to think about it. It was either between, like, dominant with limits or 50-50. I would probably say she's dominant with limits. Like, she wears the pants of the house, but she also knows her limits when it comes to having the pants in the house. So it makes her dominant with the limits. She's not submissive by any means. And she's not like the type of wife that would boss you around. She has the money to do so, but she's not going to do it. She's too humble. She's either dominant with the limits or 50-50. And due to the fact that she leans more to dominant with the limits, I just see her in this category with the other four characters here. Up next is Beto. I think she's of age as well. Beto, 23-27. She's not a yes wife, but she's not a dominant with the limits either. I would say she's 50-50. Mostly due to the fact that she also is humble, but also makes it to where that, like, she's very strong, and if her husband doesn't have a vision, she'll tell the husband and the kids to just get the fuck out. Because, yeah, she's a pirate, meaning she sleeps from, she sleeps from place to place, so obviously she's gonna be a technical whore due to the fact that she's a pirate, but I don't see her as that. Yeah, she's a pirate, but not all pirates are like that. To be honest, I could actually see her having a loving family. Probably with Kaya, due to the fact that both of them have eye patches. But still, a lot of people ship her with Ningguang. I don't see it. Because Beto doesn't really talk that much about Ningguang in highs. And Ningguang barely even talks about Beto. And even if she does, it's due to the fact that she's talking down about her due to the fact that she's a pirate. So it's like, like, she has respect for Beto because of her strength. But it's like, she does not like her due to the fact that she's a pirate. So it's like, I don't know there. Up next is Kaching. I don't know Kaching's age. Kaching. Kaching is 27, so she is not of age. She's too young. Xiangling. Where is she? 14 to 16, too young. Chongyun. 16 to 18. So, if he were 18, I would definitely put him somewhere between submissive with the limits to dominant with the limits. But due to the fact that it says 16 to 18, I have to put him in too young / childlike. Because of the fact that even though, like, a lot of the characters look old or young, depending, he actually looks young. He just looks too young to me. Up next is Xing Shu. I think he is also underage. Xing Shu, 16 to 18, so he's in the same wheelhouse as Chongyun, but at least he looks a little bit older. Chongyun looks like he's about 16. Xing Shu looks like he's about 17. Either way, they're still too young to even worry about being married. Now, Venti, he is 100% a 50-50 kind of husband. Like, he would probably be bisexual with more of a male lean, but I could see him with a wife. I honestly do. Like, a lot of people see him as bisexual, but in lore, he doesn't have anyone to be with because of the fact that he just lives forever due to him being an Archon. So he can't have, well, not can't, he wants to, but he can't because of the fact that sooner or later the wife and the kids would die off, meaning that he's just going to be sitting by himself in his house all day worrying about his next of kin every single generation. And it's going to burn him. It's going to make him depressed and fall further into his drinking patterns. So it's gonna be worse for him if he just goes through that depression over and over and over again. He can't go through it again. Dory, I honestly forgot about her. I have to put her with the other midgets. I'm sorry. I like Deadass, Nahida, and Diori are both midgets. Hell, even Dory here is a midget. Melazine, technically a midget, but like Melazines are just, yeah, they're just small in stature no matter what. Klee and Chi-Chi, literal children. They're not even 10 years old. Klee is like 8. Chi-Chi's what, like 7, 8 years old? Yeah, literal children. Not even preteens yet. Zhongli. Zhongli is an odd case, to be honest. But like Venti, I would definitely see him as a 50-50 husband. Like, he doesn't throw his weight at you. No, he's going to be the type of man that's humble, calm, serene. I see him as a 50-50 due to this. And it makes sense for his character. I just pulled her like 2-3 days ago. I forget her name. What is it? It's not Yunjin. It's not Yao Yao. Wait, where is Yao Yao? I didn't even... There she is. I was like, where the fuck is he? I honestly forgot about Yao Yao. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Gotta bring Kachina up here as well. Like, those are literal children. Come on, man. I think that's it for the midgets and kids. Yeah. Fuck. Xinyan. Yeah. Okay, I think it's Xinyan. Yeet. Xinyan. Does it show her? No. That sucks. So, it doesn't even show. I think her name is Xinyan, yeah. Xinyan. Yep, that's her name. It says 16 to 18, too much in between, so I'm going to put her as too young / childlike. Albedo. He's physically 18, but he's actually like over 500 years old due to the fact that he's like an ever-living clone. I would probably say dominant with limits. Like, he's not the type of husband that would just boss you around. Like, he's not going to bark at you all day, but Sucrose would listen to everything he says. And a lot of people ship him. I see the vision. I honestly see it. Like, I honest to God do see it. But it's like, Albedo, I don't see him barking orders every day. I just see him as like, you know your role, I know mine. let's just work together, but I'm still the man of the household, you know? He's that kind of guy, and I see him as the dominant with limits. Ganyu. Like, she's a Chilan. So she is 100% submissive with limits? Dear God, I just realized that we barely have anyone that's submissive up here. Everyone is either 50-50 or, like, dominant. So it's like, god damn. But Ganyu is 100% submissive with the limits. She's not the yes wife. Like, she's strong in her own right, believe you me. But she is, like, very submissive. Not very, very, like, sucrose, but she's still submissive. She's a submissive wife, but not too submissive, you know? So, it's, because of the fact that she's, like, a chilin, it makes her very more inept to the fact that she has to listen to the husband, you know? Not, like, has to, but due to her human half, she does have a rebellious phase, but it's like, she's still at that point. Zhao, I would say, is dominant with limit. Actually, no. To be honest, from lore, I see Zhao as 50-50. That's how I see him. Like, that is how I see Zhao. I don't see Zhao as dominant or the yes husband. No, I see him as 50-50. That's how I see Zhao. And it's due to the fact that he is very loving. He's very kind, caring to everyone he cares about. So it's like, I honestly see him as a 50-50. That's just how I see it. Hu Tao, I don't know her age. If it says 16 to 18, I'm putting her in too young / childlike. Where is she? Hu Tao. Okay, so she is just barely an adult here. So 18 to 20. She's definitely not a yes. She's not like a yes wife. She's not submissive or the yes wife. I would either say 50-50 or dominant, leaning more toward 50-50. Like, that's how I see it. Because Hu Tao, like, she's not humble, but she's also, like, kind of crazy. But she also knows her role as a woman. You know, like, she's that kind of woman. Hu Tao, I see her as a 50-50 woman. That's personally how I see it. Yes. Rosaria, she is the yes wife. She will beat your ass into submission. That's how Rosaria is. She does not take no for an answer when it comes to a lot of things. Like, she will beat your ass until you listen to her. And it's the same thing with Arlecchino. Like, it's the same thing with Arlecchino, except Arlecchino's a lot worse due to her intimidation and her power. Rosaria used to be part of the treasure hoarders. She killed everyone part of her troop and became a part of Mondstadt's hierarchy. Well, not hierarchy, but yeah, that kind of thing. I see her as the yes wife because of the fact that she's, like, super scary. Like yeah, she'll want children probably, like, 5-6 years down the line, but it's like, she's going to tell you what to do and you're going to do it. Like, she's that kind of wife. Yanfei. To be honest, I don't see her having a husband or a wife due to the fact that she's, like, super busy in the court of law. But because of this, I'm saying that she is 50-50. Now, hear me out. A lot of people say she's submissive with limits like Ganyu. She is more of a deer compared to a Ganyu Chilin. Ganyu's a Chilin. Yanfei's a deer. So, due to the fact that Yanfei is actually more human compared to Ganyu, it makes it to where that she is more 50-50 compared to Ganyu being submissive with limits. And she's also in the court of... she's in the court of law. So you best remember, you fuck up, your ass is getting sent to jail. She ain't gonna give you no sympathy just because you're her husband or her wife. No. Eula, she is 100% down. Or actually, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say she's like a yes wife, but now that I think about it, she's dominant with limits. She's not like bossy, but she is bossy. Like, you know, she's the Ningguang Lisa type. Like, you do as I say, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, Rosaria and Arlecchino are the type of women that'll beat your ass until they do what you say. These two are like, do as I say or I'm gonna beat your ass. You have an ultimatum. Meanwhile, these two are like, No, you're getting your ass beat until you obey me, making it sure that they have the pants no matter what. With these two, you can try and get it back, but they're not going to give any quarter. Kazuha, let's see. He's that old? What? There's no way Kazuha was 25 to 27. Okay. I'd probably put Kazuha as 50-50 as well. Like, he's a cool guy and all. He's very sweet, very humble. I would think that he's a 50-50 kind of guy. Because of the fact that he's a sword master first and foremost, so he has to show respect. And he's very humble too. Like, he's not very... he's not like flashy with his moves, but he doesn't show out either. He's not that type of guy to make it to where that it's like, oh, I'm a pop out and show brothers. No, he's not that kind of guy. He keeps things humble, down to earth, and that's why I see him as a 50-50. Ayaka, 100% submissive with the limits. This woman, like, she loves Aether, like, a lot. Like, she was like the first one to actually fall in love with Aether. Like, at least I think. Because we went through a lot of the other women that are from, like, 1.0 to 2.0. And, like, Yanfei, like, she wasn't, like, outwardly in love with Aether. Mona never showed love for Aether. Same thing with Beto. So it's like Ganyu, Amber, Sucrose, Ningguang, Lisa, Eula, versus Arya. Like, none of them showed, like, true admiration and love for Aether except for Ayaka. Ayaka was the first one. And in every patch, that continued. There was at least one or two women after Ayaka that just kept falling in love with Traveler. A lot of people say Farina, that's not the case. She just has a lot of respect for Aether. She is not in love with Aether. She just respects him a lot because of his strength. But Ayaka, she's submissive with limits. She's a sword master and she will beat your ass if you get out of line. But she is still submissive with limits. Yoimiya, I think she's of age. Yeah, 18 to 21. I see her as the 50-50 type. I see her as the 50-50 type. Yeah, due to the fact that she's like very cool and vibrant, you know? But if you piss her off, she's sending a firework in your ass. I would find it funny if I were like one of her friends and she shot like a firework at her husband just to be like, bitch, don't play with me. Like, I would see Yoimiya doing that 100%. Yoimiya is the type of woman to go, bitch, you best not do that shit, I'm gonna beat your ass. In a funny way, not like, bitch, you best not do that shit, I'm gonna beat your ass. No, she's like, bitch, you best not do that shit, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, she's gonna do it in a loving manner. She's not gonna, like, demand it. No, she's doing it in a loving manner. So, that's how I see Yoimiya. Sayu, she is a midget. And I think she's also too young, too. Where's Sayu? Yeah, 12 to 12, my ass. She's older. She's older than 10 to 12, but she's not an adult. She's like 16, 17. 10 to 12, my ass. Ride Nai. A lot of people say Shogun, and that would classify her as the yes wife because she takes no bullshit. But Ride Nai, submissive with limits. I just see I pronounce that I because that's just how my brain works. But Ride Nai, I see as submissive with the limits. Like, it's either submissive with limits or 50-50. She's definitely not the yes wife. She's not dominant with the limits or the yes wife like Raiden Shogun is. No, she's like submissive with the limits. Like, she doesn't know how to handle herself with a lot of stuff. But the man would also have to take over for cooking because of the fact that, well, she just doesn't know how to cook. Like, she can't cook. Like, it is canon that she cannot cook. And it's so funny. You try to use her for like a special dish, it's like, this character cannot cook. Do not use her. Kujo Sara, I would say dominant with limits. She's like she respects Raiden a lot, but she is like the complete opposite when it comes to the husband-wife dynamic. She is dominant with limits, not submissive with limits like Raiden is. She is 100% dominant with the limits. She's not like the yes wife to make it to where I'm gonna beat your ass until you obey me. No, it's like you obey me or I'm gonna beat your ass. That's the difference between dominant with the limits and yes wife. Excuse me. Fuck, excuse me. But I would say Kujo-Sara is dominant with the limits because of the fact that she is very commanding and demanding. So it's like, I would see her as dominant with the limits. Kokomi. She's not scary by any means, but because of the fact that she's a princess of Watatsumi Island, like, she has power. You know? And her subjects call her Her Majesty, even though she doesn't like the title. She's humble, but she'll also beat your ass if you get out of line in a playful way. It's like, bitch! Like, that's... like, Kokomi's the type of wife where it's like, bitch! That's how she is. Oh, shit. Like, Kokomi is very playful in her mannerisms. But it's like, she's not the type of gal that would beat your ass if you get out of line or beat your ass just for the funds. No, she's the type of woman that's like, we gotta do this shit together or not at all. She's that kind of woman. Toma. I don't know how old Toma is. Okay, 20 to 23. Toma is 100% 50-50. Like, there's no doubt. Like, he's submissive with limits, but he's 50-50 more times than not. He's not dominant by any means, but he's not truly submissive. He's not submissive most of the time, but he is a very 50-50 kind of character. But, like, if you've played the Inazuma quest, you know why I put Toma at 50-50. Ito. He would not know what to do. I would not, like... He would not know what to do. He wouldn't. Where's Arataki Ito? Here you go. So, he appears 20 to 36. He's an Oni, which means he lives a longer lifespan compared to other people. He would not know what to do, but he would still want it to be 50-50. That's just Ito. He's not submissive, but he's not dominant either. He's 100% a 50-50 kind of guy. And if you played his story quest, you'll understand why. He's a really cool dude, and he has a really cool attitude. Ha! Bars. Next is Goro. Let's see. Goro is 20 to 23. I would probably say submissive with the limits due to the fact that he's like scared shitless of Yai Miko. I do not understand why he's scared of Yai. I don't. It's like, why are you scared of Yai? You're a dog. She's a fox. You can beat her ass in the law of the jungle. It's like, bitch, she's a yokai. The fuck am I gonna do against that? And only that, she's the head yokai of the shrine. She's the fucking shrine maiden and the strongest out of all of them. The fuck am I gonna do against her? So you just let her dress you up as a fanboy? Yes! Man, you a pussy for real. You're just kind of the opposite because he's a fucking dog. Either way, he's submissive with the limits. Shunha. Ooh. Like, if this is Shunha without the ribbons, she is a yes wife because she will beat your ass. She was trained by Cloud Retainer, so yeah, she's gonna beat your ass. But because of the fact she has those red ribbons, 50-50. I'm not saying, she's not submissive by any means. But she is 50-50 now because of those fucking ribbons. 100%, bro. But if I wanted to go in between a route, I would probably say, like, dominant with limits. But she's 100% 50-50. Like, she's not going to have the man boss her around, but she's also not going to boss the man around either. That's unless she didn't have the red yarn around her body, keeping her emotions in check. Xian Yun. I don't know how old she is. What? There's no way Xian Yun's an Adepti? No, that's bullshit. Am I looking at the wrong person? Xian Yun? Oh, never mind. That's Cloud Retainer. Fucking hell, I'm an idiot. So who the fuck? Junyin. It's fucking Yoonjin. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Why did I say Xian Yoon? That's Cloud Retainer. Yoonjin. Okay. I don't know much about her. I don't. She's a singer. We barely see her in the quests. 50-50, that's all I know. Yeah, Miko, dominant with the limits. Like, she's not the type of woman that would beat your ass, but she's like, if you don't do as I say, I'm gonna beat your ass. She's that kind of woman. She's scary, but not that kind of scary. That's just how I see her. Ayaka. He's very humble, very sweet, very kind, very caring. 50-50. I just feel like he's not into himself, but he's not like demanding. Yelan, dominant with limits. She is that kind of woman. And it's due to the fact that she works for Ningguang. Works for Ningguang. That it works with that sort of dynamic. So I put her as dominant with limits. Kuki Shinobu. 18 to 21. Okay. She is an ex-shrine maiden. Doesn't take shit from Ito because of his dumbassery. But she still knows what a true woman is in some aspects. So I would say dominant with limits. And a lot of limits compared to everyone else that's here. She has a lot more limits compared to the rest of the men and women here. And there's only like 2-3 men in here. So it's like, it's a lot. Heizhao, very 50-50. Very and barely 50-50. He's a crazy ass motherfucker. He's not like crazy, like serial killer crazy. But due to the fact that he's like, hold on, how old is Heizhao? Heizhao. Who the fuck is Mike Schmidt? Oh, Mika Schmidt. I was gonna say, like, who the fuck is Mike? I didn't see the A there. That's Mika. Oh, I feel like an idiot. Yeah, Heizhao. He's definitely 50-50. Like, he's crazy due to the fact that he has to think like the criminal, and that kind of rubbed off on him in the wrong way. Tainari. Alright, Tainari is 23 to 26. He's not dominant, but he's not submissive either. He's 100% 50-50. He's the type of man that, like, he wants to do everything with his wife. Kale. I think Kale's underage, right? 16 to 18, so yeah, she's too young. Sino, you are 21 to 26. Again, he's 50-50, just like Tainari. Candace, another 50-50. Not Nahida, submissive with the limits. Like, it's, damn it. Like, she's not like truly submissive, but she does have limits. She knows her limits. Layla, I see her as submissive with limits as well. Wanderer, he's not a yes husband, but he is dominant with limits. So I would definitely put him here. Faruzan, I don't know how old she is. Okay, 21 to 24. I don't know much about Faruzan. But based off of her personality and some of her voice lines that I've heard, I would definitely say she's dominant with the limits. Alhaitham, yes, husband. Like women fiend for this man. They fiend for him. So he is definitely the yes husband type. Like, he's not the type that would beat the woman's ass, but it's like the women know that he is too handsome to, like, not listen to. And they would just base it off of how handsome the fucker is. Dea, dominant with the limits. 100%. Like, she doesn't take shit, but she'll do it in a more playful manner, which would technically make her 50-50 alongside Candace, but she's much too dominant in how she is. Kabe, submissive with the limits. A lot of people ship him with Alhaitham. I kind of see it, but it's like, come on. The fucking roommates and they hate each other's guts. Like, it's like, oh, that's perfectly fine for gay couples. that bit's kind of funny. Mika, it said 16 to 17, so too young. Baijo. He's a sick motherfucker. And not sick Meaning like, oh, he's sick in the head. No, like he's physically ill. I would say he's 50-50. He seems like the kind that's 50-50. Kirara, let's see. Kirara is 18 to 21. So she's old enough, and due to the fact that she's a cat yokai, she's like submissive in a way. Like, she doesn't take a lot of shit, but she does take shit. You know? So I would see her as submissive with limits. Lenny. I don't know how old he is. Lenny is 15 to 17. Same thing with Lynette. Both are underage. Nouvellette. He is a very respectable man. Very handsome, too. So I would see him as the 50-50 guy. Risley, on the other hand, is dominant with limits. He is dominant with limits, and it makes it to where that he's a handsome man, and just like Al-Haytham, a lot of women fiend for him. So it makes things very complicated. Farina, submissive with the limits. Like, she knows her limits as well, and she doesn't take a lot of shit. She takes shit, but she doesn't take a lot of shit. When it comes to Arlecchino, she's the yes wife. She's the yes wife. Anyone else? Submissive with the limits. So, just from the overall perspective, submissive with the limits for Lady Farina. Oh, and look at that. I almost forgot. Raiden and Farina are also the other two on my favorites list when it comes to number 1. So, Arlecchino, Lisa, Raiden and Farina are all tied for first place for me. All 4 of them. Charlotte. She's very bubbly and sweet, but she's not submissive, you know? She's very 50-50. She's she is literally right in the middle. I think she's of age, though. Yeah, 21 to 25. Like, she works for a bureau, so. Navia, another one that's 50-50. Like, I wouldn't say she's dominant. That's more of a Clorand kind of thing. Navia, she's 100% 50-50. No doubt in my mind she's 50-50. Like, she's that kind of wife. And due to the fact that she's the president of the Spina de Rosula, like, she is 50-50. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. Chevreuse, 21-25. Jesus Christ, she does not look that old. Chevreuse, probably 50-50. She's either 50-50 or dominant with the limits, but I would still say 50-50. Xianyun. Xianyun's a very tough one to crack due to the fact that she is she's Cloud Retainer, so she doesn't speak highly of herself. It's just they call themselves one does not or one does this. They just say that as part of their speech pattern. But with Xianyun, honestly, I see her as 50-50. That's just how I see her, though. Up next, we got Gaming. I think he's underage. Gaming is 18. Gaming's 18 to 20? I thought he would have been 16, 17. Alright, well, it says he's 18 to 20, so Gaming, I would probably say Gaming's 50-50. So, who else is there? Chiori, she's not the type of woman that would beat your ass until you listen. She's the type of woman that's you gonna listen to me or I'm gonna beat your ass. That's how she is. That's Chiori's character. God damn. Sucrose is the only one up here that's still a yes wife. What the fuck? Clorand, she is a dominant with limits. She does have a life, but due to her overall personality, she's dominant with the limits. Sethos. Sethos is 21 to 25. He is a very 50-50 character, just like Sino. Amelie. 25 to 32. I would probably say 50-50. I haven't played her character story yet, so I'm gonna say 50-50 based off of her profession. But if anything, I would probably say dominant with the limits. I don't know her character. I haven't played her story quest yet, so I don't know her character. But I would probably say dominant with limits. Mualani. I almost forgot her name. Mualani. 18 to 21. So she's of age. And I would definitely see her as a playful 50-50. Kanish. A lot of people will ship those two together. Kanish, I would probably say 50-50 as well. Like, he's not the type that would boss someone around, but he does know his role. Who's up next? Jalonin. She is, I would probably say she's dominant with the limits. Meanwhile, Chaska is actually 50-50. Like, Jalonin, like, she doesn't take shit. Like, she is a very hard-working woman. But I wouldn't see her as someone who's 50-50. I would see her as someone who's dominant with limits. Meanwhile, Chaska would be 50-50. She's a very family-oriented person. Ororon, I would say submissive with the limits. When it comes to Celali, he's technically the yes husband, but when it comes to his overall personality, he's submissive with limits. Up next, Mavuika. She is 100% a 50-50 kind of character. Remember, she's human. She's not fully Archon. She's just a human Archon. So, like, it makes her very 50-50 oriented when it comes to how she is. Sitlali. I would probably say dominant with limits. Now, if it were Aether, she's submissive with limits. But her overall personality is like dominant with limits. Like, she'll take control of it. Lanyan. I don't know much about her. If anything, I'd probably say 50-50. We got a little bit of her from this from this past 5.3 patch with the lantern, right? But I honestly don't know. Mizuki. She is also a 50-50. Like, she doesn't get, like, really mad. She doesn't have a temper. But I would still say she's 50-50. Oh, I forget her name. 5.5. Son of a bitch. 5.5 banner. Genshin. I forget her name. Veresa. Okay. Oh, it's Veresa and Xianyun for phase 1. Oh, so who's phase 2? Venti and Zelonin. When this shit comes out, I'm gonna save up to get Venti. Like, I'm gonna try to get Venti, bro. Like, what's his weapon? Okay, so like I'm gonna try to save up for Venti. Like, dead ass he's best boy, but Veresa. Veresa Genshin. Alright, let's see how old she is, because I honestly don't know. Because it doesn't list it here. At least I don't think. Veresa. Yeah, it doesn't show it here. The only V here is Venti. So it's like... oh, no. Most luchadors start between, like, 20 to 25, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say she's, like, between that age. From how she is, like, she's not submissive, but she's not dominant either. I would say she's 50-50. But it appears that is everyone. God damn, this turned into an hour-long affair. Holy shit. But, yeah, like I said, this is every single character from Genshin Impact, excluding Alloy. Because I know nothing about the bitch. About how I see them in a household. And Sucrose is the only one that is a yes wife. What the fuck? It is so weird that she's the only one that is, like, really fucking submissive. But either way, like, that's gonna be it for me for now, guys. It was fun doing this sort of thing. It really was. Ugh. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be that fun, but it actually was. Yeah. So, I'll see y'all another time. Next time I might do something from Pochi Quiz. So, I'll be seeing y'all later. Deuces.